Sir, I would like to welcome you on the behalf of entire IIM Indore community, and we would like to thank you for your amazing guest lecture. Sir, I would like to ask what is your advice to the students of IIM Indore who are interested in making a career in finance, like more specifically in the financial services sector?
I think first of all I'd like to say that it's a privilege to come to IIM Indore. I really enjoyed this visit, and I would like to wish each and every one of the students in IIM Indore and the faculty members a wonderful 2016 and the very, very best in your careers. Now, coming to your specific question on the financial services sector, India today, first of all, if you look at it from a macro perspective, India is probably at its best in terms of macro data. Current account deficit is low, fiscal deficit is under control, inflation has come down, RBI has cut interest rates. There is a possibility of more interest rates cuts happening in 2016, hopefully, all of course depending on global events, and so on and so forth. So from a macro perspective, India looks at the cusp of a huge takeoff. And passing out from an IIM institute at a time like this would be a fantastic time to start your job careers, as I see it. But more specifically on the financial services sector, the financial services sector in India is hugely underpenetrated. If you look at mortgages, for example, mortgages are today 9% of GDP. If you look at housing act, if you look at insurance is very low compared to global markets. I think the penetration levels are around 4 or 5%. General insurance penetration levels are less than 1% of GDP. So penetration levels in financial service products in India is extremely low. We also have a very young population. 60% of India's population is below 30 years of age. And therefore, these people are people who have high aspirations, who want to consume more. So the demand for goods and services in India, and therefore the demand for financial products in India, is only going to go higher and higher. So I would think that there is tremendous scope for students who want to move to the financial services sector.
Sir, as a student, were you always inclined towards banking and financial sector, or you also had other favorite subjects and other hobbies?
See, my favorite hobbies used to be, if you look at it from a hobby perspective, I used to love cricket. I used to play as a bowler. I used to be a bowler when I was very small and young. I used to be a spin bowler. When you're a spin bowler and you're young, the ball tends to move, sort of gain height. And when you're bowling against batsmen who are short in height, the ball sort of goes about them and you can beat them often. But as you start bowling to boys who grow taller and taller, they come out of the crease and start hitting you. So then I changed from being a spin bowler, a leg spin bowler, into being a fast bowler. So that was my hobby. So my hobby in school days used to be play cricket. When I moved to college, my hobby in college was listening to music, writing. I used to love writing. I've stopped writing and reading. I used to love writing and reading. But now if you take the last 20 years, I don't recall reading a single non-fiction book or writing anything other than business-related stuff. In the business front or in the academic front, my interest was largely in money, in finance, in numbers. I have a fairly strong memory for numbers. If I see numbers, I associate numbers with something, so there is some association of numbers with something which is very pragmatic. So if you give me a series, or if you give me the balance sheet of a company, for me it is not just a series of numbers. It represents something, and I sort of look and mentally in my mind try to understand what that company's balance sheet looks like, and so on and so forth. So my passion has always been for numbers.
Sir,
but my interest was, I can also say my interest on an academic front was also a little bit on medicine. Unfortunately, I never became a doctor.
Okay. Sir, a one-line message which you would like to give to the budding entrepreneurs of IIM Indore?
As I said earlier, this is the best time to enter the workforce, and I would like to wish each and every one of the IIM students a very, very bright 2016 and an extremely bright career. I am sure one of the students from IIM Indore will stand out over the next 20-30 years to produce a global, world-class product which will be recognized